Hello, Commanders. Automatic Gamer here. So, update 11.2 is just around the corner. It's going to be launching tomorrow in War Robots. So, I thought today, let's go over the official War Robots update notes posted from their video for the update overview. I will link that video of the 11.2 update overview in the description. So, on with the patch notes. The event is called END Solar Gala. And the END Corporation are the richest corporation in War Robots with the DSC Defense Security Conglomerate, Evo Life, Space Tech, and Icarus Technologies. So, first of all, we have the new titles. We have the Solarched title, which will be completed by completing the event tasks through the new event, and potentially, usually when they have titles like that, they will have you, like, sometimes you have to use damage with, like, the new robot, use the new weapons, or something like that. Or they have you, like, open, like, a certain amount of data pads or something like that. Something, like, it's kind of simple. And also we have the other title, specifically for the free-for-all game mode, which I think it's interesting because free-for-all's been around for a while, and it's the first time they've done a free-for-all title task chain for a title called Gladiator, which I think it's fitting for free-for-all because, well, you're fighting everyone on a one-on-one scenario, and there's 6 of you in the battle, so I think that'll be fun. And, of course, we have the new robot called Teth, which is themed around Egyptians, because that's what War Robots Pixonic decided to theme this event around, which I think is pretty interesting, and also I think this can be very, very fun. And I think the ability for this robot is very fitting for the Teth robot, which it's called Sandstorm, because in simpler terms for that robot, it will allow you to shoot a teleportation beacon across the map, either to in order to hit maybe a group of enemies, or to either capture a beacon. You can shoot that teleporter, that translocator, to a group of enemies to either use it as a weapon to get closer to deal damage, or if someone is on a beacon and you want to take it from them, you can do that as well. But either way, when you shoot the translocator, it does deal damage to enemies if you hit it with them, and gives them an EMP, so they won't be able to use their abilities on you, which will maybe give you an advantage if they're planning on shooting at you, or if they notice you straight away. And also, I imagine you will also have increased defense, especially with the physical shields and the force field protecting you over time. And eventually, if those if the physical shields do get damaged, the force field and the physical shields on the Teth robot, they will eventually regenerate just over a minute or just over time. They always say if it can only regenerate its weapon slots if it lost some anyway, which I think is pretty funny and pretty fitting. If you want to read any of the other information, like the weapon slots, 2 heavy, 2 light weapons, 1 medium, 1 heavy. When I saw that, I was like, interesting, because I've never seen a bot that has 2 light weapon slots, 1 medium, and 2 heavy. I've seen one bot which is 1 heavy, 1 light, and 1 medium slot, and that was the Skyros robot, which released maybe I would say 2-3 years ago at this point, which I think is interesting. And it's got decent maybe durability. Maybe if you level it up, it'll get more. It seems like a good amount of speed it's got. Of course, it's going to have bonuses if you level it up to MK3 and MK2. Increased for the ability for MK3, for MK2, and for MK3, it's 100% shield durability on the front and back, so it's going to be having even stronger shields if it's maxed out, along with a increased damage whenever you use your ability, which is great. We have the new weapons, medium, light, and heavy. The Hedjet, the Dishant, and Shent. I think that's how you pronounce those weapons, but they are they launch missiles that orbit to your target, so you could maybe use these weapons at maybe a mid-range or up close if you're one of those players who does use weapons like that. So it's of course for light, medium, and heavy, and specifically for the Teth robot. And yes, for a range of 150 meters, and it being explosive. You could maybe use it for a cluster of enemies so they can all deal damage to each other. And yes, if it's 150 meters, that means this robot and these weapons are going to be best up close, not at range of up to, like, say, 800 meters or something like that. It's not really, I think, or barely going to do any damage. And, of course, we have the new drone to go along with this. The Scrubless drone, which I'm not certain. I think you can use it maybe on all bots, but this, of course, is made like to go with the Teth, but I don't know if it only works on the Teth, sort of like when the Dux got its drone as well, but I could be wrong. You could try it out on many other bots. I could maybe do that if I hopefully get this. So it's got it'll give you more speed for any robot that has a force field, whether it be this robot or like the Lynx or something like that. On deployment durability. So and increase the robot's durability. The effect is constant. So it'll give you extra durability. The drone will regenerate and hopefully shield you from any incoming attacks. Oh, okay. And it also increases for EMP, so that's good. So it can disable enemies and also deal damage to them, which is great. And it'll increase the ability on your on I think any robot with a physical shield, which will be great for the Teth and any other robot like a physical shield with like maybe the Shell or like anything else like that. That could work. Or like maybe like a Lancelot or something. That would be interesting in my opinion. And of course we have the pilot for it, Bast Nerfra. I think that's how you say her name. Her ability is Dance of the Sands. Upon teleportation, or using its teleportation beacon, Teth gains a 20% boost to movement speed and a 10% bonus to weapon damage that lasts 7 seconds. So I think that'll help you in terms of like moving around to maybe evade an enemy or just like deal damage to them in order to capture a beacon from them. And of course, the other additions we have, let's see, the new mothership, which as soon as I saw it, I was like, this is interesting. How would this work? And I didn't know there was going to be a new mothership, but I guess that kind of makes sense. It's called Sekhem, and kind of a shape of a pyramid, which I think is very, very cool for an Egyptian theme. If you're going for that, I would definitely do that. So in terms of its slots, I think it has 1 support and 2 attack turrets, which is good. And its ability is it unleashes a barrage of projectiles around it the select target in expanding contracted circles. Each projectile creates an impact zone on landing, dealing damage over time and applying slowdown to enemies caught within it. Okay, so this would be good for maybe one enemy, but I think it would be more effective if it was like a cluster of enemies, like maybe like 3 or 4 enemies, perhaps, something like that. And then we have, this is one of the parts of the updates that I'm really excited about. We have the new tactical shift, which isn't necessarily a new game mode. It's just an update to one of the maps, because they just released it. They're just going to be releasing this now, and who knows what the community, including me, are going to say. But I think it's interesting, in my opinion, with tactical shift. So tactical shift it introduces a dynamic summaries to the War Robots maps. The feature only appears on the chemical spill on the factory maps, so the pools where the chemicals and toxic waste are, with it randomly in every game mode on factory except for Beacon Rush and push game modes. So it'll give you a warning that the pools are beginning to overflow and filling up, and maybe gonna get the entire map or the central area of the map. So you're gonna have to have robots maybe with more mobility, can maybe like move faster or can either fly. So you got to reach that higher ground as fast as possible if you want to be the one who's going to survive the tactical shift with the notification. I'm gonna guess as soon as the notification hits that tactical shift and the waste is starting to fill up, it will not end or not stop filling up until the end of the match, which I think this will be very interesting. And who knows if it's going to be on more maps, but it seems good, like just for a test right now, if it's only going to be on one map, which I'm fine with it, to be honest. And of course, the huge rebalance that's going to be happening this update. Some of this, I don't know what to think, because, well, one, it's a huge rebalance going on all of these robots and all these titans. So some of this I'm excited about, but some of this I'm like, I don't know what to think. Because some of these robots I do really like running, but some of these bots are just pesky annoying, and I'm really happy that this is happening to them. So with the Ravager, it's going to be slower in its ability, but in stealth it's going to be slower, but also if you're in its regular walking mode, it's going to be way faster, which potentially be good for you if you are a person who likes running the Ravager. I ran the Ravager here and there, like I enjoyed it, but it's not pretty much one I would probably run crazy. Like, it's not my playstyle, because I'm a brawler. I'm not some of those people who like would maybe shoot from a distance. Like, I'll do that here and there. I enjoy that playstyle, but I personally wouldn't do that. And the ability, like cooldown, is higher, and the movement speed and walking is increased to 40 kilometers per hour, and the durability and health is lowered. So this thing is going to be close to a free kill, but still probably put up a fight, but it's still going to be a free kill. The Samjok, I'm so excited for this, because I hate this robot. It is so annoying. I didn't even get it when it came out in one of the last updates, but I'm really happy that it didn't come out in that update. So the Samjok is it's going to be, the ability is going to last a little shorter, and also it's the cooldown is from 3 seconds to 7 seconds, which is good, considering that you won't be able to hide in phase shift through the entirety of the game between a 3-second cooldown, which I love. Like, even though the robot is still extremely fragile and it can be like easy to kill maybe here or there sometimes, I am so happy that this thing is getting a cooldown on its ability and the movement speed and everything else. It is getting nerfed and cooldown, and also the movement speed is being increased by just a few notches, which is fine. The ducks, I don't know how to feel about this one because, again, they're making it maybe a little bit more balanced, but I don't know how to feel because I loved running this robot. It was so OP. It was so fun to play, especially with all those abilities that it had, with all those robots and drones, with the built-in weapon, the shield, how you could regenerate your health, how your weapons worked when you were like potentially one-shotting players and one-shotting Titans, just getting kills and all that fun jazz with this robot. So the fire rate of the bot is lowered, and also this robot, whenever you go into your ability, you'll still have your shield, your Aegis shield to protect yourself, but this bot will no longer be able to restore gray damage, so that'll make it maybe a little bit more balanced, like less OP, but this thing is losing a lot of its protection, and the shield is going to be lowered to 225,000 health for a shield. So the Dux is going to be a little bit more fragile, like still kind of strong, but still on the fragile side. So I don't really want to say it's going to be a free kill, but it's losing a lot of its tankiness. So I'm a little worried if anyone's going to use that anymore. The Condor, the amount of durability that will be restored. I would say the Condor, for all the health that it regenerates whenever your shields get broken, whether it's the regular one or the special edition version, that's going to be lowered, so it's not really going to be a headache to deal with. Like whenever it's in the sky, you can potentially, I think, shoot them down a lot easier, whether if they're on the ground or in their ability. So for any Condor players out there who love that robot, I would say you can still use it if you would like, but I would be maybe a little worried about that bot. But also this bot could still be able to kill Titans because the damage against Titans is going to be increased, which is good. The Raptor, I do like this bot, but it still goes down kind of in a short time for me when I play it, but also it doesn't really affect me because I don't really use it too much. Like, it's fine to play and run. I do like using it. I love the ability. The weapons are not the greatest, but they can be effective here or there. So the durability is going to be increased. The ability is going to be down a notch for the reflector shield, and of course the jump ability when you slam down onto the ground, and the movement speed is decreased. So if you're slowed down and you're locked down and you're in a Raptor, you're potentially going to be a free bag of silver. You're going to be killed very easily. The Leo and Nuo. The defense points for the Leo is reduced by 20%, by 20 to 4, which is not good. Supporting allies on its ability, 10 defense points per stack of Fortress Link is fine for 10 defense points. Normally, you could maybe run it and you would usually or sometimes be invincible if you were linked to a Nuo by any robot or any Titan, like no one could kill you. Now they're lowering the link of the Leo and Nuo. The Nuo is going to have its link reduced by 25 stacks to 22 stacks, and to a 66% bonus damage from 75. So that's going to be bad for both these bots if you enjoyed playing these robots, the Leo and Nuo. So that is if you're a fan of playing the Leo and Nuo, you're probably kind of sad, but I do not know what to think about that, because one, I don't have the Leo or the Nuo, and also I just don't know how they're gonna work if I get any of these bots coming into the newest meta, which is gonna be changing shiftly with this huge rebalance. The sword unit, it's gonna be built-in weapon reduced to 11,500 damage instead of 16,000 damage. Percentage damage is going to be 1% instead of 2%. Sword damage reduced to 24,000 damage instead of 55,000. And the built-in weapon projectile speed is buffed to 1,000 miles a second instead of 800 a second. The Orochi is going to bonus movement speed from Viper Strike increase to 80% to 100%, and the Viper Strike duration increased to 4 to 5 seconds, which is going to be good to give you an extra second, maybe in order to deal some extra damage or something like that. The Demeter, which is one of the best healing bots in the game, repair protection by the absorber shields increased to from 20 to 35%, so it's going to be increased shield protection, and also going to be able to heal you way more often if you're surrounded by a cluster of enemies, or you're protecting maybe 2 or 3 or 4 people at bots at once, and you want to just make sure you and your entire team can survive. The Hawk, the reflector shield is increased to 50% instead of 40%, which is good. Maybe I'll have to run it again, because honestly, maybe it'll make me miss running the bot, because that was one of my favorite bots to run. The Shell, the movement speed is increased to 45% from 33%, which is great when you're in your ability. The Revenant, the durability is increased to 390,000 health instead of 344,500 health. The Fafnir, probably one of the best bots in the game, especially around that meta, is the bonus movement speed from Shapeshift. The Shapeshift mode is going to be increased to 55% instead of 40%, which is amazing if you're switching between landing and flight, or from flight to land instead. Titans, the Mauler, resistance to damage over time decreased, duration of its ability is reduced to 4 seconds, which is not good. Converting incoming damage reduced to 4 seconds, which is not good. The Mauler is not going to be... Well, defense points are increased. That's a good thing, but the ability is getting lowered. It's going to make this thing less formidable than what it actually was. The Devourer is... it's getting some huge changes. This is not good, but this doesn't really bother me, because I hate the Devourer Titan so much. Oh my god, this thing was awful. I ran it a few games. I didn't really like it. I switched back to the Rook Titan, which I have still, and I love the Rook way more than Devourer, but this doesn't really affect me that the Devourer is getting nerfed again, or getting nerfed. But yeah, I just don't like this bot, and I think this thing will be even easier to kill, because it's getting way slower. The durability is reduced. It's gonna have more defense points, which is good. The ability is gonna be some of the movement speed when you're out of your ability is gonna be increased, which is that's not bad. That's pretty good. And when you and your ability is gonna be decreased a little bit, so that's just gonna suck if you're gonna try to link to a robot or a titan to try and kill them, so that's not really gonna do much. And finally we have the Bissagliere. The damage per particle of the faintest shot is reduced from 19,800 to 9,900, which is not great for the Bissagliere. I don't really know if anyone's going to use that much. I mean, I haven't seen any or many Bissaglieres on the battlefield anymore. Or, yeah, as soon as they came out, I don't really know if I saw any here or there. Maybe I saw like one or two, but I'm probably wrong. I could be wrong. And, of course, we have the robot weapons, regulator. That can't really do much. Scream the Growl and Howler. They're getting nerfed again, so they're not really going to do much. Discipline the Smite. They still do damage, and they still do damage, but they're not the greatest anymore. The Kirin Mogwen and the Gangia weapons. The particle shots are reduced. The interval and everything else is reduced, so that's not really going to do anything. The Lemming and Nania, they're getting even more bad nerfs, because getting even worse, because they barely do any damage now, but they're probably going to do nothing now with everything being decreased. And of course the reload time is going to be 6 seconds now instead of 5, which is not very good. The arm weapons for the sword unit, they are getting a small reduction, but they're still going to be pretty strong. But those weapons, they needed to be nerfed because they were insanely powerful. They could just do a few hits and a Titan would have been already dead. You could do so much damage to multiple robots at once, especially to how you would shoot those robots, especially with the percentage damage being just absolutely incredibly powerful. Let's see, what else we got? The gas, the shields are going to be reduced, which sucks. Prismas are going to be a little bit worse. Oh no, that's not good. Ultimate Havocs, they're getting damage per particle reduced from 7,700 damage to 4,000 damage. And the reload is going to be... Oh, okay, good. It's increased to reload interval to 0.7 seconds from 0.8 seconds, which is good. I like that. Ultimate Shredder, damage per particle reduced. Okay, that's fine. 6,508 damage to 5,900 damage. That's fine. Ultimate Shock Treads, damage per particle reduced 11,000 damage to 9,000 damage, which is fine. Still going to be strong, but not like the best anymore. Ultimate Hussar, Ultimate Dragoon, damage per particle. That is going... I did like running those weapons. I only ran them for a little bit, but I did like running those weapons. Per particle damage is going to be 14,500 to 11,600 for the Dragoon, and Hussar from 11,500 to 9,200. So it's not terrible, but again, it's not greatest either for weapons like that. And of course, we have all the other weapons. Oh no, the Ultimate Groms already, with the Ultimate Arthur being released in the last update. Damage per particle reduced to 3,335 damage to 2,170 damage, which that's not great. So you're not going to be able to wipe out Titans as fast enough with the Ultimate Arthur, with the Ultimate Grums. But again, I think they potentially still could be strong. But if you want to read the rest of this for the rebalance, I'm not going to go over all of it because then I'll be here forever. For any of the drones and any of the other weapons and the motherships and the turrets. And they're doing some more technical fixes, which is good. It's always better to improve your game, especially when everything like takes forever to load. They've fixed that, and I'm like, oh, I can finally get into a game. I was so happy. So that was my overview and my of the 11.2 update notes for War Robots. Again, I will put the update overview by Pixonic link to that video. I will put it in the description if you want to talk about more War Robots or about football or anything like that. I'll link my Discord in the description, and see you on the battlefield or the football field, Commanders.